This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, so let's start. So, so yesterday we were discussing this example. Uh, what we have done is we have created one types declaration, then we created an internal table without header line. Okay, this internal table doesn't have any header and it is a standard internal table. So, since the internal table doesn't have the default header, we declared what an explicit work area. We are assigning the data to the work area, and every time we are appending the data from work area to the end of the internal table by using what append statement. Okay, so and we understood that append statement always adds the data to the end of the internal table, so we are displaying those three records. Then on the same internal table I use the insert statement. This insert statement is also is going to insert the data into the internal table at the end. Okay, it is inserting the data at the end. This employee number 9 will come at the end. Then again we use the insert statement with a slightly different syntax. We are using the addition what index. Okay, so this will insert the record, this record in the second position. So what we understood is on the standard internal table we can use both append and what insert statement for inserting the data. Append will always add at the end of the internal table, whereas insert can be used either to add at the end of the internal table or in a specific position of the internal table. So that's what we have done. Okay, so we have displayed that. Then I declared one more internal table, one more standard internal table, and I told that while declaring the internal table, we can declare the key field. Okay, so in the first internal table I have not declared any key field. Okay, so what is the meaning? For standard internal table the declaration of key field is optional. You may or may not provide the key field. So in the second internal table I was trying to provide the unique key. It was giving that syntax error. So it is understood that standard internal table doesn't support unique key. It supports only what non-unique key. So what is the meaning of unique and non-unique is unique will not accept duplicate values, whereas non-unique will accept what duplicate values. That is the difference. Okay. Then what we did, whatever the data is there in the first internal table, we are copying it to the second internal table. Done. And we display the data from the second internal table. Then on the first internal table we were trying to sort the data by using what sort command. while sorting while sorting the first internal table we have not specified any sorting field. So if you don't specify any sorting field, what SAP will do first, SAP will check whether this internal table contains any key field. So if you go to this internal table declaration, this internal table doesn't have any key specification field. So since it doesn't have any key specification field, it will try to sort on first character field. What is the first character field in the internal table? Employee name. So it is going to sort on what? Employee name. Assume that my internal table contains all numeric fields. So in that case, if you don't have any character field, it is going to sort on what first field of the internal table. So what is the priority sequence? First it checks for the key field. If it is not available, it checks for the first character field. If it is not available, it is going to sort on the first field of the internal table. So in this case it has sorted the data on what first character field, which is the employee name. Then we are trying to sort the second internal table. Second internal table contains what? A key field. What is that field? Employee number. So it is going to sort on what? Employee number. That's what we have discussed yesterday. So when I execute this, yeah, when I execute, so I can observe here, this is data in t underscore emp1 after default sort. So you can see this was actual data in the first internal table. Okay, now after doing sort t underscore emp1, it is sorting on what first character field. What is the first character field? Employee name. So I got the data in what? Sorted order of what? Employee name. And if you observe second internal table, T underscore EMP2, this is the original data. When I use the sort statement, since it contains a key field, what is the key field? I declared employee number. So it has sorted the data on what? Employee number. 6, 9, 11, 12, 16, something like that. Okay. So whenever we use any sort statement without the sorting field, it is going to sort on what? It is going to check whether it contains any key field. If you don't have key field, it checks for the first character field. If you don't have any character fields, it will sort on what? First field of the internal table. So in this case, I got the data in T underscore EMP2 in the what? Employee number sequence. Okay. Now I want to sort on a particular field. So what you can do, let me do it in the same program. I want to sort it on a particular field. So let me sort the second internal table only. I'll just sort T underscore EMP2 by employee designation. So I'm sorting it based on what? Employee designation. So when I execute, so it is going to sort on what? Employee designation. Done. So when I execute that, so if you observe at the end, okay, let me give the message differently. Data in T underscore EMP2 after sort on what? EMP designate. So I'm just giving a meaningful message. Activate this. Okay, let me execute. Yeah, you can observe at the end here. It has sorted the data on what? Employee designation. Okay, first I got CEO, then I got employee, manager according to the ASCII values. ASCII values. Okay, so it is sorted on what? Employee designation. Similarly, you can sort it in descending order. How do we sort it in descending order? See this. Same syntax. Sort T underscore EMP2 by employee designation. We have to use the keyword what? Descending. Descending. So let me just give here after sort on employee designation in descending order. So if you don't use descending keyword, it is going to sort on what? Ascending order. Check for the syntax error, activate this. So if you see the output at the end, it is going to sort on what? Descending order of what? Employee name. Employee designation, sorry. Descending order of employee designation. Okay. So I'll summarize this entire program. For while declaring the standard internal table, I may or may not specify the key field. So key field declaration is what? Optional. In case if you are providing, we have to provide only what? Non-unique key. Non-unique key means what? Which accepts what? Duplicate values. Which accept duplicate values. Okay. And what is the other thing? We can use both append and what? Insert statement. Append will always add the data to the end of the internal table, whereas insert can be used either to add at the end of the internal table or in a specific position of the internal table. That is one point. Okay. Then yeah, when you are using the sort statement, on which field it is going to sort, if you don't specify the sorting field, First, it checks whether the internal table contains any key field. If it contains, it is going to sort on key field. If it doesn't have key field, it will try to sort on first character field. Okay, if there are no character fields, it is going to sort on what? First field of the internal table. And by default, the sorting order is what? Ascending order. If you want to sort in descending order, we have to use the addition what? Descending. Okay, so this is the concept related to this example. Any questions, please ask me. No questions? Okay, fine. Now let me go for other concept. Once again, I'll just refresh the server. Just hold on, please. Yeah, okay, so let us see other statements related to this internal table. So I'll copy this 20th program to 21. Let me select all the checkboxes. I'll save it in the local object. Yeah, see the changes here. So this is my types declaration. I'm creating the standard internal table, and while declaring that, let me specify non-unique key. Non-unique key employee number. Understood? Non-unique key employee number. Since it is the internal table without header, I require an explicit work area. So I declare the explicit work area. Then I'm appending some data. Okay, so this is my data. Let me append some more data. Yeah, this is my data. Let me just print it. Yeah, I'll remove the rest of the things. Done. So I repeat this. So I declared one standard internal table. As part of the declaration, I specified what? One key field. It supports only what? Non-unique. Non-unique means which can accept duplicate values. Let me show you that. Then since it is an internal table without header, I require what? Explicit work area. I declared that. Then every time I'm assigning the data to the work area, and by using append statement, I'm appending the data to my internal table. So I've added some 5 records. Let me execute this. I'll save it, check for the syntax error. Done. So when I execute, yeah, I got the data. Okay, this is my data. Okay, now what I'll do is, if you see the employee internal table, already we are having the employee number 12. Already we are having the employee number 12. Let me try to add one more employee number 12. Okay, so let's see whether it will accept or not. So somewhere here, employee number, I'll say something 12. I'll just give some name, Shravan. Done. So I'm adding one more employee with employee number what, 12. Let's see whether it'll accept or not. Yes, it has accepted. Okay. What is the key field I give? Employee number, but it is a non-unique. Non-unique means what? Which can have what? Duplicate values for this particular field. That's what I'm trying to show. So it is able to hold what? Duplicate values. Now this is my internal table. So my requirement is, if you loop the how to display this data, we have to use a loop statement and display. Now every time we may not be interested in the all the records. I want to read a particular record of the internal table. I'm interested only in a particular record. So if you want to read a specific record in the internal table, okay, we should know either the position of the record, or we should know some information related to that particular record. I repeat, what is my requirement? I want to read a specific record from the internal table. Okay, so if you want to read a specific record from the internal table, we should know either the position of the field, position of the record, not field, position of the record, or I should know some information related to that particular record. So if you want to read a specific record from the internal table, we have a statement called as what? Read statement. Okay, by using the read statement I can read the data. Okay, so now what I want to read the third record. I know the position of the record. I'm interested to read only the third record. So if I read the third record now, what is the data I should get? 16, Srinivas, and what? CU. Because already we know the index starts from what? 1. So what I'll do here, I'll use a read statement. What the read statement will do, it will read the record from the body of the internal table, and if the read is successful, it will populate that record to the work area. It will populate that record to the work area. It will copy that record to the work area. After copying the record to the work area, okay, it will set size sub rc to what? 0. So now onwards we will be using one system field called as what? Size sub rc. Already we have used some system fields like what? Size uname. Okay, size ugit. Size uname is for what? Which contains a login username. Size ugit for what? Application server what? What time. Okay, site datum is for what? Application server date. Okay, site rep id is for what? It contains a program name. Okay, and we have seen something what? Site tfill. It contains what? The count of the number of records in the internal table. And we have seen something site tabix, which will hold the index position in the internal table, the current index position in the internal table. Similarly, we have another system field called as what? Size sub rc. What is the purpose of size sub rc system field? It will store the execution status of what? It will store the execution status of above statements. It will store the execution status of above statements. Means if the above statement is successfully executed, size sub rc will be set to what? 0. If the above statement execution is failed, size sub rc is set to what? 4. Who is going to set these values? By SAP itself. Understood? So I repeat, what is the purpose of this system field? It will store the execution status of the above statement. Suppose I'll execute one statement, some statement. Okay, I want to know whether this statement is successfully executed or not. Okay, so immediately after the statement I need to check the size sub rc value. Okay, so here I'll say what? If size sub rc is equal to 0, what is the meaning? My previous statement is successfully executed. Else means what? My previous statement execution is failed. Means psi sub RC will contain what? 4. Understood? So it is not, this system field is not for a particular statement. We will be using this particular system field for most of the above statements now onwards. So one of the statement we are trying to discuss here is what? Read statement. What is the purpose of read statement? It is used for reading a specific record from the internal table. If the read is successful, if the read statement is successfully executed, psi sub RC will be set to what? 0. Otherwise it is set to what? 4. So my requirement in this context is what? I want to read what? Third record. So third record means what is the index? 3 now. So what the read will do? It will read the data from the body and populates that record to the work area. So since it populates the record to the work area, okay, it is better that I clear my work area before I reuse. So I'll say here something clear. What is the work area name? W underscore what? EMP. Okay, if any data is there in the work area, it gets cleared. Now I'll say read table. Try to understand read table. What is the internal table? T underscore what? EMP1. Okay, this internal table doesn't have its own header. If it is having its own header, it will copy the data to what? Its own header. But since it doesn't have its own header, I need to say what? Into what is the work area name? W underscore what? EMP. Read table internal table into W underscore EMP. Okay, index which record you want to read? Third record. So I'll say what? Index what? 3. Done. So how do you check it programmatically whether read statement is successfully executed or not? Immediately after the read statement, I'll say if psi sub RC is equal to 0. If psi sub RC equal to 0 means what is the meaning? The previous statement is successfully executed. Psi sub RC will always store the status of the execution status of what? Previous above statement. I repeat once again, psi sub RC will always store the execution status of what? Previous above statement. What is the previous above statement here? Read statement. So if psi sub RC is equal to 0, what I'll do? I'll just say, okay, the data will come and sit inside what? Work area. Na? So for my understanding, I'll just give a message, third record is found. I'm just giving the message and the data will come and sit in what? Work area. Na? So let me print it. So I'll say write. What is the work area name? W underscore EMP hyphen employee number and W underscore EMP hyphen employee name. Okay. WA underscore EMP hyphen employee designation. Else means what? My read statement is what? Failed. Okay. So I'll just give a message. Third record what? Not found. Third record not found. End for if is what? End if. Okay, so let us execute this. So in my internal table we are having around 5 to 6 records. We are trying to read what? Third record. So when I execute, yeah, I got the what message? Third record is found. What is the third record I got? 16 Srinivas and what? CEO. Let me debug this. Okay, I'll put the breakpoint. I'm not interested to debug up to this, so I'll start debugging from this 55th line. I'll put the cursor on that line and I'll set the breakpoint. I'm setting the breakpoint. Breakpoint is set. Now and execute. Done. Okay, so it is about to execute this statement. Do we have any data in my work area? Earlier, see, employee number is 12, employee name is what? 7, and employee designation is something employee. Some data is there in that. Okay, and if you see the internal table, this is my internal table. Actually, what is the third record here? 16 Srinivas and CEO. My work area contains some old data because previous to this I have executed the loop statement. Na? So loop statement means the last record will be there in the work area. Okay, I'm clearing that. When I say Fi, yes, it got cleared. It has set it back to default values. Now I am trying to read data from this internal table. Which record I am trying to read? Third record. Do we have third record in the internal table? Yes. What is that record? 16 Srinivas and CEO. This record will be read and that record will be populated to what? Work area. Since it is successfully read, psi sub RC will be set to what? 0. So I'm about to execute the read statement. Before executing the read statement, What is the value of size bars here? 0. We are not concerned about this value at this stage. We are concerned about this value after execution of what? Read statement. So let me say F5. When I say F5, yes, I got the data. 16 Srinivas and CEO, I got it into work area. And size bars is still what? 0, which indicates what? My read is successfully executed. So I'm checking the condition. If size bars is equal to 0, yes, if condition is satisfied, is entering the if block. I am printing the message third record is found, and whatever the data is there in the work area, I'm displaying that. So I got the data 16 Srinivas and what? CEO. Right? So any questions in this, please ask me. Okay, right. So we are able to read the third record. Now, one more requirement. Every time I may not be interested, every time I may not be interested in the complete record. Okay, now what is my requirement? I want to read the fifth record. Try to understand. I want to read the fifth record, but I'm not interested in the complete record. I'm interested only in employee number and employee name. Understood? So I know that I want to read the fifth record, but I'm interested to read only what? Employee number and employee name. So when I read the fifth record in this context, what I should get? 8 and what? Current. Okay, so every time you may not be interested in the record because a record might contain 100 fields. Every time I may not be interested in the complete record. Now I'm interested only in the specific details of that particular record. So let us see how to read the record partially, specific data from that particular record. Okay, so just see this. I'll say uline. Now, it is always recommended to clear the data, clear the work area and then use it. I will not clear. Let us see what is the issue if I don't clear. Okay. So what is the last data in my work area? 1 second. Okay. What is the last data in the work area? What is the last data? 16 Srinivas and what? CEO. Okay. So keep that in mind. I am not clearing that. Without clearing, I'll try to directly read it. So here I'll say read table T underscore emp1 into W underscore emp index what 5. Index what 5. So if I leave it like this, it will read what? Complete record. But I'm not interested to read the complete record. So I'll say transporting, transporting. What are the fields you want to read? Employee number and what? Employee name. Okay, so whichever fields you want to read, only those fields I'm transporting. Employee number and what? Employee name. Okay, employee number and employee name. Done. So what this will do now? It will read only employee number and employee name. It will transfer that to what? Work area. It will transfer that to work area, populate that to work area. But already previously work area contains employee number, employee name and employee designation also in the previous read. So anyhow employee number and employee name will be overwritten with a new record. But since I'm not transporting the employee designation, previous employee designation will be like that only now. Okay, previous employee designation will be as it is. So let's see what happens. So here I'll just give the message. What? Fifth record is found. Here I'll say fifth record not found. So let me check it now. Let us see what happens. So when I execute, I'm printing employee number, employee name, employee designation. Wantedly I'm printing. I know that I'm transporting only two fields, but wantedly I'm printing what? Three fields. So my expectation is employee number and employee name anyway I'll get. Employee designation should be blank, should be space, because I'm not transporting the data. I'm not reading that data. Let's see what I'll get. So when I execute, yeah, what happened here? Fifth record, see 8 current. Yes, 8 current I got. This I'm expecting blank, but what I got CO. Actually, the designation of this employee is what? Employee. The designation of this record is what? Employee. I'm not getting employee. I'm expecting space because I'm not reading this. But what I got here, CEO. From where I got that CEO? from the previous read, what is the previous designation? CEO. That is the reason. Make an habit to what? Clear the data before we use it. So that's why here also what? Clear what? W underscore EMP. So what happens now? If any old data is there, complete data will be cleared. And when you transport employee number and employee name, you'll get only employee number and employee name. Even though you are printing employee designation, I should get what? Blank. So see now when I execute, I got what? 8 current and what? Blank. Understood? That is the reason, that is the problem if you don't clear the data. So make an habit to clear and reuse that particular variable. Any questions, please ask me. So what is the advantage of transporting? It will improve the performance. Understood? How it will improve the performance? If I don't use transporting, unnecessarily the complete record is transported from body to what? Header, which is time consuming. If the record is having 100 fields, I am interested only in 10 fields. So if I don't use transporting, the default behavior is what? All the 100 fields of that record has to be populated to what? Work area, which is time consuming. To improve the performance, I can use what? Transporting addition. If you are interested in the complete record, don't use transporting. It will anyhow will read complete record. Any questions, please ask me. Okay, no questions. Done. Okay. Now, so we are able to read the record based on what? Index. Okay, so I got the record based on the index. Okay. Now what I'll do is, what I'll do is, I want to check, I want to check whether, one second, I want to check, uh, otherwise I'll put it in other way. Okay, my requirement is I want to read the record where the employee number is 12. I want to read the record where the employee number is 12. So how many employee numbers are there in the 12? Two records are there. Okay, but I want to read only a single record. So if you want to read only single record, I have to go for what? Read statement. I have to go for what? Read statement. So now blindly we should not use a read statement. Okay, I'm going to read, I'm going to search based on what? Employee number na. So it is always recommended to sort the internal table based on the searching field before we use what? Read statement, so that it will increase what? Performance. So what I'll do here, let me say sort what is the internal table? T underscore emp1 by employee number. Why I am sorting on employee number? Because I know that I am going to search based on what? Employee number. Actually, if I don't give employee number also, if I don't give employee number also, what happens now? It will check whether this internal table contains any key field. Do we have key field here? Yes. What is the key field? Employee number only na. So I can give like this also. Okay, so if I give like this, what happens? It sorts on what? Key field. In this case, what is the key field? Employee number. So I can give like this, or explicitly I can say T underscore employee one by what? Employee number. Okay, even if you don't give by employee number, in this case the key field is employee number only, no problem. Done. So internally it will sort the data based on what? Sequential order of what? Employee number. Now as usual, so I don't, what is the requirement now? I want to read a record where employee number is 12. Okay, I want to read only single record. So read statement you have to use, because read statement always reads what? Single record. Read table T underscore emp1 into W underscore emp. Earlier we are using the addition what? Index, because I know the position. Now I'll say with key. Whenever you are searching based on a condition, we have to use addition what? With key. With key, what is that? Employee number is equal to what? 12. With key, employee number equal to 12. Okay, so how many records are satisfying this condition? Two records, but it always reads the first record. So rest of the part is same. How do you check the status if size of RC equal to 0, I'll just give the message employee number 12 is found. I'll just print it. Okay. So where is the data will come and sit now? Work area na. So W underscore EMPF an employee number, W underscore EMPF an employee name, W underscore EMPF an employee. Here also, since I don't use the transporting, since I have not used the transporting addition, it will read the entire record. Else I'll say right. Employee number 12 not found. End f. Okay. So when I execute, no syntax errors. Done. So I got what? 12 Ashok and employee. How many 12s are there? 2 are there. It is always going to read the first record. What is the first record which is satisfying the condition? This only. So I got 12 Ashok and what? Employee. Okay. Suppose I'll say 126. I'm searching for the employee number with employee number as what? 126. Do we have this record? No. So read is failed. If the read is failed, size of bars is set to what? 4. Control goes to what? Else part. So let me just, what happened now? Employee number 126 not. I got 12 here, but it should be what? 126. Okay. I'll quickly try to debug now. I'll put the breakpoint here. Done. So this is my actual internal table which has got how many records? T underscore EMP1 has got 6 records. Let me show you the data before sorting. If I go to table, this is my internal table. This is the data 6, 12, 16, 3, which is not in sorted order of employee number. Now, when I say FI, it is going to sort based on employee number. Let me say FI. Yes, it has sorted based on employee number 3, 6, 8, 12, 12, and then what? 16. It is sorted in the employee number sequence. I'm clearing my work area. Done. Yeah, what I'm trying to do now, I'm trying to read the record wherever the employee number is 126. We don't have any record with 126 na, so my read will be failed. If the read is failed, size of RC will be set to what? 4. Before executing the read statement, size of RC is what? 0. I'm not bothered about before execution. We should concern about after execution. So when I say FI, done, read is failed. What is the value of size of RC? It is marked as what? 4, which indicates what? My read is failed. So control comes to else part. I'll give them as a employee number not found. Understood? So that is the meaning of what? Psi sub RC in this context. Let me search for 12. Understood? So read always reads what? Single record. Even though if there are multiple records satisfying the condition, it will always return the first record whichever is satisfying the condition. Hope it's clear. Okay, so what are the different ways of improving the performance? If you're not interested to read the complete record, use the addition what? Transporting, so that only the only the specific fields will be transported from body to what? Work area. Another way of improving the performance is what? Use, if you are searching the internal table based on a particular field, you sort that internal table based on that field, so that the entire data will be what? Sequential order. The searching would be what? Faster. Apart from that, what I'll do is just observe this. To further improve the performance, anyhow it is sorted earlier, so that doesn't make sense again if I sort. Already it is sorted here. Already is sorted. Now the change I'll do is read table to answer with key employee number 12. I will use the addition binary search. I'll use the addition what? Binary search. So let's see what is the result I'll get. Again, I'm searching for 12 only. Again, I'm searching for 12 only. Yes, I got what? 12. Understood? I got what? 12. I got the same output, but what happens is here the performance is slightly improved, because if I don't give binary search, by default it follows what? Linear search. By default it follows what? Linear search. So to understand this concept, linear search or sequential search, just observe this. Yeah, just observe. So this is my sorted data in the internal table. Okay, the sorted data is what? Something like this: 3, 6, 16, 16, and what? 18. Now linear search means what? It always starts searching from what? First record. It always starts search. Suppose assume that I am searching for the employee number 18, for example. So what happens? It will start searching from the first record to what? Last record. Now if I use binary search, what happens is it will use the binary algorithm internally. I assume that here also I'm searching for what? 18. So it will identify the middle record. What is the middle record here? 16. Okay, this is the middle record value. What I am searching? 18. Na? So it is in sorted order now. So 16 is less than 18. So what happens? It will start searching from what? From the middle of the record to middle of the internal table to end of the internal table. Assume that you are searching for 3. So 3 is less than 16. Na? So what happens? It will search in what? Upward direction. So here the advantage of binary search is we are minimizing the searching process. Instead of scanning the whole table, instead of scanning the whole table, from the middle, we are deciding whether to search in the upward direction or in the downward direction. That is the advantage of what? Binary search. What is the prerequisite for using binary search? The data should be in sorted order. Okay, using binary search without sorting doesn't make sense. It will not give any error, but doesn't make sense. It will ignore the binary search. So before using binary search, you make sure that the internal table is sorted based on the searching fields. Anyway, it is sorted based on what? Employee number earlier. So this is another way of improving the performance of what? Read statement. What are the ways we have seen? One is use the transporting addition as part of the read statement, so that only that specific fields will be transported from body to what? Work area. And if you're searching on a particular field, you better sort the internal table based on searching field before using what? Read statement. And as part of read statement, you use the addition binary search so that we can minimize the searching process. Any questions? Please ask. Yeah, hope it's clear to everyone. I'm not getting any questions, so I assume that it's clear. Okay, done. Now, one more point related to read only. So this is my data of the internal table. Now my requirement is I want to check whether employee number 8 is available or not. I am not interested in the data, just I want to check the existence. Understood? I just want to check the existence. I just want to check the existence. I am not interested in the data, reading the data. So what is my requirement? I want to check whether employee number 8 is available or not. If it is available, it has to give a message it is available, otherwise it is what? Not available. So I am not interested in reading the data, I am interested only in checking the existence. So see what I'll do. Uline, I'll say clear w underscore emp. Let me use this. Read table t underscore emp into w underscore emp with key employee number equal to 8. With key employee number equal to 8. I am not interested in reading the data, so I'll say transporting what? No fields. Transporting no fields. I'm telling SAP don't transport any data from body to what? Work area. So I'm using what? Transporting no fields. This is only to check what? Existence. So if the record is available, what happens? Isobars is marked to 0. Otherwise it will mark it as what? 4. Okay. So let me just employee number 8 is found and employee number 8 not found. Okay. So it doesn't make sense in printing the data because I'm just checking the existence. Now one more thing. Here we are saying transporting no fields. Okay, means no data will be transferred from body to header even if the record is available. But I'm using into work area. Again, it doesn't make sense. You are telling not to read the data, but still you are saying what? Into w underscore emp. So let's see what happens now. When I do syntax check, when I'm doing the syntax check, let's see what happens. Yes, I got warnings, not errors here. It is a warning. What is saying here? Transporting no fields, transporting no fields will not fill the output area. The addition does not make sense here. So what it is saying? You are telling not to transport any data, but still you are saying into work area. So it is saying not to use that. So for your reference, I'll just give a comment what warnings. Read table t underscore emp. Don't use any into statement. Just say what with key employee number so and so, transporting no field. So when I execute now, this also not required because I'm not using the work area. So when I execute, yes, what is saying employee number 8 is what found. Suppose I'll search for employee number 86. Do you have that 86? No. So what happened? Size of bars is marked to what? 4. I got employee number 86 not found. I gave 8 here in the message. I gave 8, but it should be 86. Understood? So this is another way of improving the performance. Okay, every time we may not be interested in the content of the record, we might be interested only in checking the existence. So we have to use what? Transporting no field. So this is the overall way where we can use a read statement. Okay, so what is the purpose of read statement? It is used for reading a specific record from the internal table. It always reads what? Single record. Even if there are multiple records satisfying the condition, whichever first record satisfies the condition, that record will be written. And if the read is successful, size of bars is set to 0. Otherwise, what? 4. If you want to use the read statement, either I should know the position of the record or I should know some information related to that particular record. And how do we improve the performance of the read statement? By using transporting addition as part of read statement, so that only the specific fields are transported from body to work area. And before we search based on a particular field, you better sort the internal table based on that field. And apart from that, use the addition binary search as part of read statement, so that we can minimize the searching process. And if you are interested only in checking the existence, not in reading the content of the record, use the addition word transporting no fields as part of read statement. So there are the different ways of using what? Read statement. Any questions? Please ask me. So this is a complete concept related to standard internal table. Any questions? Please ask me. Done? Okay. One second. I may not be able to send yesterday's recording because I'm unable to convert that recording because suddenly power has gone, so it got corrupted. I'll still try whether I can do the conversion or not. Okay. Otherwise, also anyway, I'll send the notes. Okay, that you can refer. Okay, I'm getting some conversion error. I'll try once again. If it is working, fine. Otherwise, I just refer to the notes only for the yesterday's session. Okay. Done. So I got the data. So if you observe related to our internal table, what are the keywords we have seen? Append statement, insert statement, loop statement, describe statement, sort statement, and we have used what? Read statement. Append, insert, loop, describe, sort, read, Okay, and we are use the system fields what psi tfill, and we use the system field what psi tabix. Done. And we are use the additions what transporting, and we are use the addition what binary search. Done. Done. Yeah. Now another important point before I wind off. Let us understand quickly the difference between psi tabix and psi index. Psi tabix and psi index. Psi tabix and psi index. Okay. So already we know psi tabix. What it will do? It will hold the index position in the internal table. Okay. Now just observe this. I'll copy this 21 to 22. 21 to 22. Yeah, so this is my internal table. I'm appending some data. Okay, I'm appending the data and I'm trying to print it. So let me remove the rest of the part. Right. So apart from printing my fields, I'll also print what psi tabix. Okay, I'll print what psi tabix. So what is the purpose of psi tabix? It will contain the index position in the internal table. So the index starting from what? 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Done. Now, I'll say I'll also print what? Psi index. Psi tabix I'm printing, psi index I'm printing. So when I execute, what is the value of psi index I got? 0. Okay, so what is the concept of psi index is psi index has to be used in the normal looping statements. Already we discussed while, end while, and do, end do. Okay, suppose here I'll say do 10 times. Do 10 times. I'll say write what? Hello. Okay, I'll print. Okay, I'll do one thing before this. Okay, do 10 times, write hello. I'll try to print what psi index also. So let's see what is the result I'll get. I'll say uline. Let me save it, check for the syntax. Done. When I execute, you can see the value of psi index now. Okay, what I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to what? 10. Understood? So psi tabix has to be used between loop and what? End loop. So I can say psi tabix is only for internal tables. Where we use loop and loop? When you are looping your internal table. So only for internal tables I can refer to what? Psi tabix. If you want to know the iteration value, if you want to know the index position in the normal looping statements like while and do, we have to use what? Psi index. Okay, suppose here I'll say psi tabix. When I execute, yeah, I got 6 because earlier I looped this one na, so it is referring to the last value. Okay, it is referring to the last value. Okay, so I'll just say clear what? Psi tabix. Okay, I'm clearing the value of psi tabix. Let's see what will get it. What I got? Psi tabix no 0. Understood? So psi index has to be used in the normal looping statements like do, end do, and what? While, end while. And psi tabix has to be used in what? Inside what? Loop and end loop. When you're looping the internal table. Psi tabix will hold the index position in the internal table. Psi index will hold the index value in the normal looping statements like do, end do, and what? While, end while. That's it. So that's what I want to say. Any questions? Done. So we have many more statements related to internal tables. Okay. So tomorrow what we'll do is we'll see how to update the internal table by using what? Modify statement, and we'll understand the difference between what? We have 3 types of internal tables: standard, sorted, and what? Hashed. So these differences we'll see tomorrow. So once we complete with these things, okay, so far we are filling the data manually. From day after tomorrow, we'll see how to fetch it from what? Database. How to fetch the data from what? Database. Then after this, we'll see how to evaluate the performance of the report. Okay, like how much time it is taking to get the data and display the data. So performance evaluation we'll see once I discuss this, fetching it from what database. Done. Any questions for today? Please ask me. Acha, one more information I want to convey. Very soon I am going to start other batches. Okay, and it would be somewhere at 7:45 a.m. Other batch in the sense I'll be starting either with UI5 or with cross apps. I have not yet decided on that. So if I start those batches now, this Coraba batch I'll just try to start sharp by 6:30. I'm trying my level best, but what is happening is every day uh, for starting the server and for generating the meeting ID, it is taking 15 minutes of time. So I need to come little early and I need to do that. So going forward, I will be starting sharp by 6:30 so that other batches I can start sharp by 7:45. Okay. So I'll try my best to start by 6:30. It is a daily 6:45 I'm starting, but tomorrow onwards I'll try to start by 6:30. Okay, and whenever this UI5 or cross apps is confirmed, I'll inform you. I'll inform you 2 3 days before only. Okay, I'm not yet planned on that. Okay, I'll plan and accordingly I'll convey. Okay, done. I'll wind up for today. Any questions? Please ask me. Chalo then.
Can
So
I call you separately this call after this meeting?
yeah, you
Partha,
can.
you said.
Yeah, you can call me. No problem. Done. So I'll wind off. We'll continue tomorrow.